Hey, it is the Monday Mailbag here on Celtics Roundtable. We are powered by CLNS Media and Greats. To save 15% on shoes, just go to greats.com and enter the promo code Celtics Roundtable. I'm Matt Ignal here. I'm joined by Sam Sheehan. We're a little bit shorthanded today. I'm sure Lucky's Pipe and Jonathan will be back for next week. We miss them greatly. There's a lot of basketball to talk about.
This is how I take over. I've caused 2 accidents. You will never see Jonathan or Lucky again. The CLNS Sheehan Roundtable. Sorry, you were saying.
Yeah. I'm not sure how to go from there, but let's just get right into the questions here. Dylan, at DB for 3, he was actually on the show, I think, the night of the Hayward injury, breaking down, his break. But anyway, Dylan asks, he wants us to rank the rookies. You can, of course, leave out the 2 elite top guys, Abdel Nader and Jason Tatum. Sam, where are you taking this?
Well, first of all, I think we all thought it when he said that was a pretty good joke to say the 2 elite rookies, because we all know who we expected to say was Abdel Nader and Jabari Bird, who is, I think, leading the team in plus minus. Either him or Yabu is, which is very interesting. Yeah, I don't know. In all seriousness, I think Tatum, is very clearly, as you would expect, I think he's the number 1 rookie. He's started in spot minutes, played a tough position, and played very well, in a very tough situation. I don't know. I guess I would go, right now I would do, Tatum and Tice at the top. I would probably actually go with Abdel Nader next. I think he's done a pretty good job in spot minutes at, just playing a role. I think next I would probably go with Jabari Bird and then Semi and Yabu last, kind of just because we haven't really seen Yabu and I kind of want to see him, go do a little better in the future and sort of settle in a little bit. But that's not really his fault. He's only played 1 game.
Yeah, I think I mostly agree with that. We're dealing with a very small sample here, but it's never too early to start ranking things. People love rankings. That's the only reason we're doing this, not because...
No. I think Yabu is the worst rookie in the entire class, so let's put that on his timestamp.
Well, let's expand this to the entire class. Who's impressed you the most? I mean, Dennis Smith has played 1 game, but he looked good.
Dennis Smith, man, he looks excellent. I really like Dennis Smith. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really not that impressed with Lonzo as much as other people are. I don't know, maybe I just had my expectations were too high. I kind of got tricked because I really thought the Lakers were gonna be abysmal this year, and everyone was telling me how crazy I was, and I kind of I softened on my position, and I kind of wish I had stuck to my guns a little bit. I think
well, they looked amazing against Phoenix.
Yeah, right. Definitely the best at spraying Windex is Josh Jackson. He's had put together an excellent season. He looked at a fan and did this, so that's him offering to come over, help him clean his windows. Really nice thing. I can't imagine why the Celtics passed on that guy. I don't know. I think that honestly the number 1. I'm just gonna go with Dennis Smith. Dennis Smith's just man, he's incredible.
1 horrible game for Lonzo, one great one against Phoenix, but I think you just have to throw everything out. Against them, their defense has been abysmal, and we have some breaking news. It's actually not breaking, but Earl Watson got the can. Ben Simmons has looked really good. I mean, he's going to put up points, rebounds, assists. I don't think that was ever really in question. Hasn't hit a 3 yet. Neither has Markelle Fultz. Someday a book will be written. What the hell's going on with Markelle Fultz? I can't figure it out. I have no idea what's going on. The dude hasn't attempted a 3. How is that possible? He shot 41% from 3 last year.
That's really wild. I can't imagine. Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand how that happens.
Yeah.
I will say Lonzo's defensive rebound rate is 22.2 in a, again, minuscule sample size, but that puts him between John Collins and Ben Simmons. So he's rebounding really well, outstanding for a guard. Speaking of John Collins, I've been really. He's the truth, man.
Mhm.
John Collins is really good. Like that Atlanta squad, like might end up being like not terrible with some of the guys they got on there. They might be like sneaky. They and the Nets might have sneaky playoff life just by virtue of how, abysmal the Eastern Conference is.
Well, now they're missing both their point guards, which, Brooklyn for a lot longer. Yeah. This rookie class is just like kind of looking like it's just going to be completely legendary.
Mm-hmm.
He maybe doesn't have like that LeBron, Dwayne Wade level of talent, but like, like I could see like 10 of these guys being all-stars at some point in their careers, and that number might even be low. I don't know.
Yeah, that's like not crazy. Like, is it insane to say like Jonathan Isaac like won't be like an all-star? Like TJ Leaf has played really well. Like what? Like I'm not like ready to like count out TJ Leaf. Like like. I don't know. There's just a lot of guys. You can go all over the board. Caleb Swanigan, like Jordan Bell, Kuzma. We didn't even bring up Kyle Kuzma, like who everyone's crazy about. De'Aaron Fox, like OG
Anunoby.
Really yeah.
There you go.
OG, yeah. Like all these guys have like looked really good in like spot minutes. I don't know. It seems like the Celtics picked a good class to like get in there. Yeah, exactly. R.I.P. to Markelle, who.
But is there part of you that thinks that like I just can't imagine whatever Markelle's going through right now with his shooting that would ever happen under Brad Stevens. I just can't imagine a world where Markelle Fultz wouldn't have attempted a 3 just yet, or would be shooting free throws like Shaq. Like I just couldn't see him.
Gotta be. Yeah, sorry. Like he's just gotta be hurt, right? Like, there's no other. Like, is there any reason for a guy to just totally like, just decide to shoot like Shaq, despite like growing up watching a clip literally called Shaq and a Fool? Like I don't know. It's insane to me that like we ended up with, like, like. And I think about something happened like with this, he went and he visited Boston and it worked out and everything, and then the Celtics traded back and everyone was like, oh. But the Sixers obviously liked what they saw, so I feel like they would have seen it. I don't know.
They spoiled him. I mean, this wouldn't have happened in Boston. I'm convinced of that.
Okay. I'm not. I'm less sure, but it seems like he's just got to be hurt. But anyway, sorry, you were saying.
No, let's just move on to the Celtics play the Knicks on Tuesday, the Bucks on Thursday, and then the Heat on Saturday. So we get every other day here. I think you were talking to me before the podcast about that Knicks game. That would be embarrassing, certainly, if the Celtics lost that. But I'm certainly looking forward to Bucks revenge. But really, I just kind of want to see Giannis again.
Yeah, as much as I like calling like all the Sixers fans like InfoWars and like just doing like trolls on them now that they like are sure that they're going to be the 4 seed, like the Sixers are like a pretty talented, like relatively decent squad. Like they've got players like pretty much at all points on their roster, like guys who know how to play. The Knicks are not that thing. The Celtics have played good teams for their first 3 games of the season, so now they've got this is a take care of business game. Like the Knicks have got Kristaps, and that's like pretty much it. So the Celtics are going to need to go in there. They're going to need to win against bad teams if they want to, even sniff home court this year. That's like the road that's laid out before them now in the wake of this like Hayward injury, and with like some of the other guys that are banged up as it is. You also want to build up a cushion in case, God forbid, anyone else goes down, particularly Horford, which would be just abysmal. So right. I don't know. I mean, what is your do you think like what do you think is the game that's most important coming up for the Celtics to win?
Yeah, probably that Knicks game too. I mean, the Celtics haven't really put together a good game just yet, at least in my opinion, where everybody's really clicking. Mm-hmm. It's sort of just kind of been in fits and starts. And hey, if you're the Knicks have certainly one of the worst defenses in the league, so Yeah, I would have that one circled. I also just kind of want to see how they come out against the Bucks again, and maybe change up what they're doing on Giannis a little bit. He's probably the front runner for MVP at this point, and I just want to see if like Jaylen Brown, who's probably going to get the primary defensive assignment on him, if he's just going to like dig in a little bit more and just kind of try and keep him a little bit more away from the rim. It's easier said than done, guarding Giannis Antetokounmpo. But Jalen's come a long way with his perimeter defense. But he's now facing some of the best in the league, and that requires holding his ground in the post. So that's something I'm personally looking forward to. We're actually going to have Cole Zwicker on our Thursday tape breakdown. He's going to be talking a lot about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So you definitely are going to want to tune in for that. If you're a longtime listener of the show, you know just how good Cole is. But before we get to our next topic, I want to tell you about Greats, makers of the all-time greats, classic, stylish, and comfortable sneakers sold at a great price. They're Brooklyn's first sneaker company. As a Brooklynite, you know that's true, right, Sam?
Yes, absolutely. I can attest to that.
And you must see it on them on the street all the time because they sell all the greats, classic styles, made the best for less. There's men's shoes, women's shoes. They have tons of versatile styles that are suitable for any occasion. You've seen Evan and Levy. They've shown you the Royale Lace-Up. They also have the Worcester Slip-On. Those are their best sellers. Check those out, along with lots of other great styles at greats.com. We got a special deal just for our audience. You can save 15% on your first order. Just use our offer code Celtics Roundtable. Go to greats.com and be sure to enter Celtics Roundtable to save 15% at checkout. They believe so much in their shoes. They offer a no-risk return and exchange policy to guarantee that you get the right fit in a style you love. Just go to greats.com and use our code Celtics Roundtable and save 15%. All right, let's move on to our next topic here. Gary Washburn reported that the Celtics, or that Danny Ainge said the Celtics are likely to apply for this disabled player exception. I think the wording is that a player has to be substantially more likely than not to be out through June 15th. I think the Celtics will get it at some point. It seems to me that based on that wording, that the Celtics should qualify with the Gordon Hayward injury. What are your thoughts on that, Sam?
I think it would depend on, how quickly it looks like Gordon Hayward is coming back. I don't think the Celtics are going to be in any rush.
Well, that's why you want to apply soon,
right.
I guess.
Yeah.
Even though the Celtics said they're in no rush.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that would be the reason why, if as he improves, if I were the league and I was trying to, maintain fairness, I'm not sure. I might err on the side of actually not giving it to the Celtics just because you can't be sure that Gordon Hayward, will definitely be out unless, I'm outside the NBA. I don't understand how these things work unless there's, a way of, wink, wink with the, league office, yes, even if he's healthy, Gordon will not be coming back this year because, there's no reason for the Celtics to rush him back is the other side of this coin. So unless, if that's, telegraphed by the league, fine. But, so I'm actually not positive that it's a slam dunk that they get it. But also the Celtics are going to be in no rush to use it even if they do. They probably would not use a disabled player exception until around the deadline. The way to think of a disabled player exception is it can be used to either sign a player, trade for a player, or claim a player off of waivers. But that has to be smaller than what the Celtics would get, which I think is about 8.4 for Gordon Hayward.
8.5 I'm seeing.
8.5, okay. Yeah, so 8.5 with Gordon Hayward's salary. And so that means, and it's got to be guys on the last year of their deal, which, that's only, the only guys who really qualify under that sort of stuff. You've got guys like Trevor Ariza, who Houston is never going to trade. But then you've got other guys like, Lou Williams, also probably not going to be traded by Houston. But, your Ersan Ilyasovas, your Lavoy Allens, Tyreek Evans, Will Barton is another name that's kind of been thrown around. Ed Davis. There's guys of that caliber. They have to be in their last year of their deal. Someone else who qualifies is Nerlens Noel, because I know that this question is going to be brought up because he's took the qualifying offer. I think he's only making about $4 million this year. But so the
coming
question,
off the bench too.
Yes, exactly. So the question would be, could the Celtics trade for Nerlens and then re-sign him once he comes off the books. They actually cannot because they would only be getting requiring through this disabled player exception. They would only be getting him his non-bird rights, which means they could only offer him up to I think about 125% of the salary, which would only be about $5 million, and that's probably not going to cut it for Nerlens. So I don't think it's very likely they would get him. I think guys like Channing Frye and like Ersan Ilyasova, Aaron Aflalo, Bellinelli, Corey Brewer, those type of guys are much more likely than anyone who's like a real impact player.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to find too many two-way guys. For that kind of money, who teams are just willing to give up, and guys, and then the further restriction is that they all got to be expiring. I agree with you that they're in no rush. They got till March 10th, I think, to use it, and but. I think shooting, whether it's at the wing spot or at the big spot, is just one of the Celtics' biggest needs. We saw the blueprint for how to defend the Celtics against Milwaukee, where you just kind of blitz Kyrie Irving down the stretch, and the Celtics could really use, another shooter out there to reduce Kyrie Irving's burden a little bit. So I think that's where the Celtics are going to go, and it doesn't matter to me if they do it at the wing spot or a big spot. They might just want to wait, see, where if the Celtics are more hurt at the center spot or if they're more hurt at the shooting guard spot, maybe that can dictate where they go with that. But Danny Ainge said that they're basically in no rush here.
I wouldn't expect anything until around the trade deadline. That's when guys start. They might even hold on to it through like the buyout markets. Probably not, but just when guys start being like placed on waivers and stuff like that, you might be able to snag someone there. I don't know. I would think it will probably be around the trade deadline. I think the most likely path I think would be a team that maybe like Portland or someone like that who is capped out. I think Ed Davis is he still on Portland, right? Because he's someone who fits into this thing, and they're in a tax. They are in tax hell, along with Cleveland. I think Channing Frye and Ed Davis, guys like that on teams that have giant payrolls and need to shed salary, are the most likely things for the Celtics, because the Celtics won't really need to send much of consequence back. Those teams will just be trying to cut salary. There are not a lot of teams that have. Are dumping grounds that can just take on salary. So that Celtics disabled player exception will be kind of in demand a little bit.
All right, that was Sam Sheehan, everyone. Thanks so much for coming on. You filled Lucky Jonathan's role to a T. They'll be back next week.
Well,
Lucky, if he's still alive, Lucky will give his updated clout rankings. Which I know we've all been looking forward to. This is a chance, particularly against the Knicks, to maybe a dunk on Porzingis that from courtesy of Jaylen Brown. That'll definitely work in his favor. All right, so if you like this show, hit the like button and subscribe. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you prefer to listen to us on the go ahead, subscribe to the Boston Celtics news feed that's available on your favorite podcast app. You can also download the CLNS Radio mobile app. You can give us a follow on Twitter at CLNS Roundtable. Find all our updates there, and we retweet our own stuff. So we're also now on Celtics Blog. You can find a lot of our videos there. Once again, thanks to Sam Sheehan for joining me. Tomorrow we'll have Tuesday Tirades with Evan and Zaire, maybe a guest. And we got lots of great content for you coming later this week. So we want to thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.